Hey, what's up, everybody? We are the Channel 1 through 5 podcast. This is the show we talk about our favorite things in life, movies, TV shows, and pop culture. I'm your host, Cams, and I'm here with the brother straight out of Ranui, Eric. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not too bad, man. It's Tuesday night. It's 10:24 on the PM,
Shit.
and
Yes.
we're about to break down and review the Marvel Studios movie, Thunderbolts, that was released in New Zealand last Thursday. I went to watch it on Sunday. Took the kids out on Sunday, 11 o'clock session down in Henderson.
Yeah.
Watch Thunderbolts then. And yeah, man, good deals, eh? Got a family pass, $40 for a family pass. So it was all good.
Oh, nice.
How about you?
No, because I went on Sunday as well. Because I've got the what do you call it, the events app on my phone. So every time I go to the movies, you get those points. It's kind of like a rewards points.
Yes.
So man, because earlier that week I went to go watch Sinners up at the IMAX, and I got that for I think half price because of my points. And then again, when we went to go watch the Thunderbolts, same thing. So yeah, I got discounted prices as well. So it was pretty good.
Did you go
pretty
to
cheap
IMAX to
movie
watch
week. The Sinners, yeah. I saw it in IMAX.
Oh,
and,
no,
yeah.
Thunderbolts. Did you go IMAX?
No. But I just watched it on standard, just on standard cinemas. Oh, actually, no, it was VMAX. But yeah, even though I still got there for half price as well. So
VMAX in St. Luke's?
Yeah. Just having to catch that because we were just around the area at the time. So I didn't think about it. And we were just like, oh yeah, sweet, just go. So yeah, it kind of worked out.
So yeah, man, we are both Marvel fans, and I'm a fan of Marvel comics. Used to read comics when I was younger. But yeah, somehow the movies are hit and miss now. So I think after Endgame, the Marvel's been hit and miss now, and the TV series, this TV series coming out, Loki and Agatha, the Daredevil, Born Again was pretty good. The previous movie, Captain America, the new Captain America one with the Falcon. I still haven't watched that one, but you have, eh? But that was the last movie that came out in January. Thunderbolts came out last week, and this is the end of Phase 5. I read. So Phase 5, Marvel Studios Phase 5 started with, I think it started in started with the Ant-Man movie, the last Ant-Man movie. And it's gonna end with Thunderbolts. And if you saw the end credits scenes, you'll see that they've touched on what's gonna come next in Phase 6 for Marvel Studios. And here's a hint. There's four characters.
That's a big hint.
It's gonna start off the Phase 6 for Marvel. But now, man, we're here to talk about Thunderbolts and break it down for you guys. But man, I'll get your first reaction, Eric. Like, as soon as you left the movie theater, you're walking up those aisles, head to your car to go home. What was going through your head?
I don't know. I don't think I liked it, eh? I don't know why. No, actually, I do. It was, I didn't like it that much. I think when I walked out, I think I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Yeah, and then the more I thought about the movie, I think at the end of it, I think I ended up going down as far as 2.2. Yeah, no, it didn't click for me. It's just, it's kind of depressing, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, I found it a little bit depressing. I mean, there was some cool action parts of it, and I'm not saying it's definitely better than the New Day, the last Marvel movie with the new Captain America. Yeah, it's way better than that. But yeah, no, I didn't. I was going into this movie thinking, action. I get like a bunch of guys who are like a bunch of crybabies, pretty much going through their shit. I wish they were just going through it more in the action. Yeah, it was just like they were really diving into these characters and what they were going through, because this whole team are a bunch of guys that are basically losers in any aspect of life, but and they all got issues, and they were really diving in deep into the issues. But it was funny; it was only for a few of the characters, not most of them. some characters I was like connected to, and others I didn't even give a damn. And one didn't even last. She was just like in there, and then she was out. I was like, oh shit! It was weird. I think the only characters I really connected to was probably the Red Guardian and the Winter Soldier,
Right.
because he like that actor for that character. He's probably the only consistent superhero since he put on his left arm. Since from back in the day till now, he's still the same dude. So yeah, no, it was weird.
You mentioned that you liked it better than Brave New World, though.
Yeah.
What was the difference there?
No, I think the Brave New World, it was just, I don't know. I wasn't feeling the new Captain America. I think he was too human. He should have just did what the fake Captain America did and just take the serum. The
Sam Wilson.
Yeah, Sam Wilson. He's a cool character. He's all right, but I actually like the TV show better than the actual movie, the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show. I thought the banter between the two characters was crackle.
I forgot about that TV show.
Sorry?
I forgot about that TV show.
Yeah, no. I think that TV show is more than that actual movie. So yeah, that's why I thought, oh shit, it might be similar, but it wasn't really that great. The movie, there were some good parts to it though, some interesting parts as well.
Yeah, I walked out of the movie like I felt this movie had a big message to tell, and I felt like it was stuffed down my throat all through the movie. And I get it. And what we're talking about themes that come out of this film: depression, anxiety, how to deal with trauma, and all that kind of stuff, mental health. That's a big part of the theme in this film. And you're right. Each of these characters have issues, have sort of mental health issues or trauma from their past. Even the bad guy, and that's the tipping point, right? The bad guy has a massive amount of issues, and it's a story about a group of superheroes come together to try and battle those issues, right? And become a team, because it's all about, because if you've been watching the Phase 5 stuff, there's no more Avengers, right? Tony Stark is dead, Steve Rogers has gone old, and there's no Captain America, and there's no Avengers, right? They're all
Thor's taking off into space.
Yeah, so who's gonna stick around to help New York City or battle the evils of the world when it happens, or from outer space? And so you get this group of ragtag bunch of superheroes or anti-superheroes, similar to Suicide Squad, DC Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much basically the same thing. But I actually like Suicide Squad way more better than this lot.
Really?
Yeah. Right. I mean, I think the comedy factor in Marvel is on, like especially with the Red Guardian. He was probably the highlight of the show. Him and his banter between all the characters, but the banter between each character and how they put themselves down is quite funny too.
Here's what I say. Story-wise, it didn't do it for me, but the execution of the story in this film, it's well done. It's well written too, because everything connects. It's a good story. It's a good story. It depends if you like that story or not. For me, it's not my cup of tea, but I have to hand it to them. What they've put together in this movie is well done, right? The acting is really good. The characters are good. There's probably one or two characters that don't suit their parts, and I'll probably explain that when we get to the spoilers. But I thought that, in terms of the content, in terms of the story, like, it wasn't for me, but I appreciated how good and how quality the movie was. The movie was quality. The storylines was well done, and I said on the text when I text you after I watched it, because I watched it first, but before you did, I said it was very formulaic. So it's the hero's journey. It's the typical up and the good guys get beaten up and then have to overcome and come back and win the day in the end. But it's that structure that we resonate with, right? The story structure is there, and everything's well done. It depends if you like their story or not. But for me, it wasn't my cup of tea. So 2.5 out of 5, I gave it. But I appreciated how the movie was put together, right?
You know how the first Marvel Avengers movie came out? Do you reckon it's pretty up there with the same caliber? This one?
To be honest, I can't remember it. I can't remember.
I remember, watching that first Avengers movie with all those heroes together. I was just like, wow. You got Captain America, you got Thor, Natasha, Hawkeye, and all that, and Iron Man, and they're having that battle in New York with the aliens. Yeah, like that was like pretty epic back then. But I'm like comparing that to this one because it's pretty much on the same level almost. But it's not like just misses the bar, kind of like. Maybe the next Marvel movie is probably going to be that same comparison, but this one is just like it almost gets there, but then it's just like it's like a free throw that doesn't hit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I'm saying like the story wasn't for me. That type of story wasn't for me. But
yeah,
everything else, you know what I mean? Like everything else this movie does is good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, the only thing you talked about, you comparing it with the original of Avengers. I still compare it to the DC's Suicide Squad. And what I thought was Suicide Squad 1 was average. Part 2 was better, and that was done by James Gunn. He's gonna do Superman, which comes out in July.
Yeah,
but I think with Thunderbolts, because for Thunderbolts, it's sort of the same. It's Marvel's version of Suicide Squad. So you get a bunch of anti-heroes teaming up to do the government's dirty work, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same sort of thing. But in comics, it's the same sort of thing. But I think what makes Thunderbolts better than the Suicide Squad movies, was I actually cared about this team at the end of the movie.
Did you?
Yeah, I actually got to know these characters in this team, even though they went through what they went through, like their ups and downs and their battles with their issues and all that. Yep. At the end they come together and they win the day, right? Just like every superhero movie does. The hero always wins at the end, unless it's a continuation. But yeah, I felt like I had a connection with all the characters in the Thunderbolts team, more than I did with the Suicide Squad. Because there are certain scenes that they do that Suicide Squad didn't do, and I'll explain that too in the spoilers. Yeah. But yeah, I thought some of the performances were great, especially with Florence Pugh. I thought she was great, and she well acted her character, and just the trial and tribulations of her character and her emotional scenes and all that. Like you could relate to her at the end, so you felt like she was part of the main character. Like you could see that could carry the rest of the film.
Yeah, well, she is a pretty mean actress.
Yeah,
she's up there. She's like an A-lister, so yeah, of course she nailed her character big time.
Yeah, and then you got Sebastian Stan, who's just great. Who's come into this role as Bucky, and you can see like you mentioned like maybe Sam Wilson should have been the Captain America. Maybe it should have been Bucky. It should have been Captain America. Right?
Yeah, but I his character, like, he would have just said no, knowing him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, wow, right. It's the same dude, the same Winter Soldier through the first movie till now. It's like, wow, right, it's still the man.
Okay, we're gonna get into some spoilers, so if you haven't watched Thunderbolts, you can pause now and then go watch it, come back and listen to us. We're gonna break down Thunderbolts and over spoilers. So spoiler alert, and I'm about to do the recap. So the film opens with Elena Belova destroying a laboratory in Malaysia to eliminate evidence of the CIA's secretive Sentry project. CIA Director Valentina De Fontaine, facing impeachment over her involvement with the covert OXE group, assembles a team. Elena, John, Walker, US Agent, Eva Star, Ghost, Antonia as Taskmaster under the guise of a mission. However, they soon realize they have been set up to be eliminated along with incriminating evidence. During their escape, they encounter Bob Reynolds, a man who is sole survivor of the Century experiment. Bob exhibits extraordinary powers, including invulnerability and flight, but struggles with his identity and control over his abilities. Captured and taken to the former Avengers Tower, now the Watchtower, Bob is showcased by De Fontaine as a new superhero protector, aiming to salvage her reputation. Meanwhile, Alexei, Red Guardian, rescues the betrayed operatives, dubbing them the Thunderbolts after Yelena's childhood soccer team. They are soon joined by Bucky Barnes, who seeks to expose De Fontaine's machinations. Together they confront Bob, now transformed into the immensely powerful Sentry. However, when De Fontaine attempts to control him, a darker persona known as the Void emerges, engulfing New York City in supernatural darkness and trapping the citizens in their worst memory. To stop the Void, Yelena enters the darkness to reach Bob's consciousness, confronting her own traumatic past with the support of the Thunderbolts. Bob overcomes the Void, restoring normality to the city. In the aftermath, De Fontaine manipulates public perception by rebranding the Thunderbolts as the New Avengers during a press conference. Despite the reservations, the team accepts the new title, with Yelena warning De Fontaine against future betrayal. That was your WesWes recap.
Wow, that was out of it when they presented themselves as the New Avengers. I was like, what the fuck? I was cracking up at that.
But that's what the asterisk was for. When you look at the heading, Thunderbolts asterisk.
Yeah.
Because that's like the temporary name. When they named them the New Avengers, it was like, okay.
Yeah, because definitely, man, Sam's putting the team together, eh? So, like, is he just going to push them aside once he gets his team up? Because I was like, damn. I was cracking up at that. That was funny. But it was funny, like, how I think there was a scene where they're discussing their name. Then Bucky's like, oh, because I think Elena asked him how it went with Sam. Because he had a discussion with Sam and it didn't go too well, apparently. Like, the thing that they're the New Avengers and Sam's trying to put a team together, trying to get our Avengers team as well. So it's like, what the fuck?
So Sam doesn't like the idea of them being the New Avengers.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it, but I can imagine him what he would have said. Like in the TV show with them, with the chemistry between him and Winter Soldier, Bucky.
So what sort of team is Sam gonna put together? Who's he looking to?
I don't know. Oh, who has he got? He hasn't really got anybody there apart from his army buddy, who wants to be the Falcon now. Maybe he's looking towards Ant-Man in it, because he did recruit that guy. I don't know who else he can grab. I don't know if he's still in contact with Ms. Marvel and that, or the rest of them. Because he wasn't really in was he in Endgame? I can't remember now. I don't think so. Eh? Sam.
Yeah, must have been.
I remember the rest of them, but I don't remember Sam being there. Oh no, that's right, because he disappeared. That's right, he disappeared. He came back after.
That's right. The one of the disappearing.
Yeah, I remember that. When Captain America was like listening to the mic, and he goes, "On your left." I was like, "Oh, oh man!" And he comes flying in.
Favorite scenes, bro? What's one of your favorite scenes?
One scene that I was like, "Whoa!" was when the little girl disappeared. I was like, "Fuck!"
Yeah.
I was like, "Holy shit!"
At that point, I thought, "Fuck, this is dark, bro." He just killed that kid. Marvel's killing little kids now.
I was like, "Holy shit!" You just saved her. She just disappeared. I was like, "Fuck!" That was pretty shitty.
And then everyone else was dying too. I thought they were dead. Like I thought that's how they died. But when Yelena, she walks into it and she disappears. That's when I knew. That's when I knew no one's dead from that.
Yes,
They've gone somewhere.
It's just like he's like a walking bag of depression, bro. It's like a superhero, he is the embodiment of depression. So I think where he put these people is like in their own personal hell kind of thing. So I thought they were dead too, but then I realized, he's just placed them in somewhere where they're going through these events in their lives where they're depressed, but amplifying it, making the experience even worse.
I think it's more of the trauma they've had when they were young and they've kept it in. They haven't told anybody.
Yeah,
keep it in and keep it in, and you get more depressed. I think with Bob, he's a guy that doesn't even talk about his problems, right? He's got so much trauma, so much anxiety that it's taken over and made another entity here. And that's what...
Yeah.
That was a cool effect, how he's all black. And he's up there, he's like a shadow.
Yeah, that was one of my other favorite scenes, is like when when they present their character and all you can see is the white pupils of his eyes.
Yeah.
But everything's just like pitch black. I was like, whoa, it's a pretty mean ass looking villain.
Yeah. Man, you're right, man. As soon as that kid turned into a shadow, that's when I thought, how, man, this went from, I don't know, somewhere to R18 sort of thing, eh? Like, even dark, eh?
Yeah, because it actually made me jump. Like, I was watching it and I was, oh shit! And I was like, damn. The other favorite scenes I had were like, the little crack up, banter between, especially with, Bucky and, I think it was the US agent. How, you know how that guy was being cocky ass, US agent, and then Bucky goes, "Oh, that's why your wife and your kid don't want you back no more."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Fuck!" I was like, "Silly man, shit!" He just cut that guy in half with that comeback.
Yeah, I appreciate the comedy in the film, eh? It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
Some
it
of
was
these
quite funny.
back and forth, especially with US agent. He was a fucking asshole.
Fuck yeah, he was going hard.
Mm. It's funny because in the
Crack
comic
up
books,
cunt.
he's actually the leader of the West Coast Avengers. So the Avengers got a
true.
branch in LA. I think it's LA or San Fran. It might be San Fran.
Yeah, he'll be perfect for it too. It'll be his kind of neighborhood.
Yeah, that's right.
Fuck, he's a
So
dick, bro.
yeah, one of the scenes we got to talk about is the scene when they all fight each other in that bunker.
Yeah,
And Valentina's set up a trap, trying to tie up her loose ends and kill all her operatives. So the interesting call there by Marvel was to introduce. I think he was in it in the previous. Taskmaster. So they changed Taskmaster to a girl for one thing.
yeah,
And they killed her. They killed her straight away, sort of thing. So it's funny because they buffeted Taskmaster in the trailers harder.
yeah.
So you would think that Taskmaster would be here right through the movie, but he wasn't. Or she wasn't. It's not supposed to be a girl; it's a guy, right?
Yeah, she was because in this particular Marvel universe, she is a part of I forgot what they call what Elena and her sister were. Oh, the Black Widow assassins or whatever. She was part of that crew, and then she was like rigged up to be this ultimate assassin. She just comes and jumps in. She gets shot right in the head. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, from Ghost. Yeah, so
Ghost is pretty mean though.
So Taskmaster's gone. You know what Taskmaster's power is? If it is a power.
Copycats.
Yeah, he can mimic any move.
Yeah.
Any
I
moves.
saw that when she was copying Natasha.
Yeah.
And the Black, I think it's the Black Widow, and they're having the battle on the bridge.
Mm.
And every move that Natasha does, even the funky ass stunts that she does, she copies everything. It's like shit. Yeah, it's like one of those old kung fu movies.
And then Bob shows up, and that was crack on me.
Yeah, I had my suspicions about that dude. I was like, fuck, what the hell is he doing in there?
Yeah.
Pops out of nowhere. Then you see that where the US agent sees that little kind of like coffin looking thing where a body was kept. I was like, oh fuck, this guy's an experiment.
Oh yeah, I saw that, but I forgot about it. That bit.
Yeah,
they're looking for the battery, or they're looking for some power supply so they can short circuit the doors to go back open.
Yeah, and you just happen to see that little kind of like capsule thing. Like, damn.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting the first part of the movie when we open and Elena's on that mission, and the way they shoot that fight scene when she's fighting those guys in the hallway.
Yeah,
but it's done so casually, so it was not. We're not focused on the her fighting them, but she's narrating over the top of it, and we see a bird's eye view of just her fighting those dudes. So it's sort of like, she's a badass. She can do this. It's not really important. We'll just show you. We'll just hurry up and get to where she's trying to be.
Yeah, she's pretty much like her sister, eh? Where they like, there's not really anybody a threat to them, especially at her level. She doesn't really like this. I think throughout the whole movie, the only time she put up a guard is when she fought Bob, the Void. That was probably the only time.
Any other favorite scenes? There was that. I was reminded of that when there's that scene when Bob comes out and all the soldiers are surrounding them.
Yeah,
with them machine guns on them, and they start shooting. Reminds me of that scene on RoboCop when that happens to RoboCop underneath in the car park.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true that. they were in hideout too, right? It was like a couple of thousand rounds.
Yeah.
There was another scene that reminded me of another Marvel movie. The scene in the courtroom. I forgot the lady's name, Valentine, and they had that Wendell Pierce guy, the actor who was acting as like a senator or something.
Yeah.
Is trying to trying to get any evidence to to try and get I don't know how you say it, get rid of her.
Yeah.
And they're having that little like kind of argument in the courtroom. It reminded me of Iron Man, but when Hydra was trying to get his suit, because they classified Iron Man's suit as a weapon, but it's not a weapon. It's actually a part of him, so they couldn't own him. But the thing is, the banter between him and the courtroom was quite funny because he was making a mockery of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it looked like Valentino was kind of doing a similar thing too as well. I was like, oh shit! It just kind of reminded me of Iron Man a little bit. That scene was a bit funny too.
Speaking of Valentina, like when we talk about performances, she would have been my weakest performance.
Yeah,
I don't think she suits. She didn't suit that character. I don't think she was miscast. Hey.
Yeah,
because I always see her
as
the
comedy show she's from?
Seinfeld. But she actually plays that character in another TV show. It's called Veep. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't seen it. But that's what I was thinking. Like Seinfeld. That's right. That's where I remember her from. But yeah, no, I couldn't click with her character. Eh? I had issues with that too.
Yeah, it's almost like she couldn't play a bad person.
Nah, she didn't do too well in that role.
Nah,
because I think the only other time I've seen her character is where did she first pop her head up? I think it was when after Natasha died and Elena visits the grave and she pops up. Even then she sucked. I was like, what the fuck is she doing in here?
She's trying to put her operatives together, right?
Yeah, she's trying to get a team.
Yeah.
Well, she gets those guys to go around and start doing jobs for
her. There's a scene where Red Guardian shows up in the car. But you're right, man. That action scene, when they get chased after and Bucky comes saves the day. But man, when we talk about performances, Sebastian Stan, who plays Bucky. Like if you think about how, when we first see him in the Winter Soldier, the first Captain America.
Yeah.
Like from that, he's like a bit player, right? He's like a supporting actor. But now he's become a star, eh? He's become like a main guy, eh? Like he could carry a show, eh? He could carry a show.
Yeah. Oh no.
So he's come a long way, eh?
Yeah. He knows what those guys are going through because he's been there. He's probably had it worse, I reckon. And he's older.
And that was funny when he said, "Oh, don't worry about my memories." Like, over them. He's had the worst day. Yeah. But he's overcome them.
Yeah, there was a funny line, like something about, oh yeah, I had a really good past. I was like, yeah, true that. Can I remember that shit?
But then, his past will probably be the worst out of everyone. But it's just that he's strong enough to overcome it. He's battled his past day. He's battled his demons. He's accepted it. Yeah, he's accepted all of that.
Because Bucky's around about probably the same age as Steve, like 100 and something years old. Probably 120, 130. I was like, fuck, enough said. Don't need to say anymore. Shit.
Yeah, who was your Sky Tower for performance?
Florence. Yeah, she was on there.
So this is your Sky Tower of this actor. So this movie has to be the best ever movie this actor's ever done out of all their movies.
Oh, best ever movie.
Do you think any actor in this movie has that?
I don't think so, eh? No. I don't think these actors were pulled to their full potential in this movie. Yeah, no, I don't. When I'm looking across the board, I don't really see it. Eh? Maybe the guy that played Bob. Maybe I don't know.
True.
He did all right. Like he had to go between like acting as a shy guy, mentally disturbed, and then go through this other persona of the Void. I don't know. Oh, the assistant to Valentine, she didn't do too bad. I reckon she was pretty cool. She was the one that was trying to she wasn't too sure if Valentine was doing the right shit. No, she wasn't loyal. That's right, she wasn't loyal. just trying to get Bucky to and Bucky was trying to push the buttons to try and get some evidence on Valentine, going through her secretary.
Yeah, I'm looking at the actor that played Bob. His name is Lewis Pullman. And his last movies. Oh, he came in Salem's Lot. So yeah, you're right. I think this might be his best. I'm looking at all his movies and I don't see anything that stands out there. So Thunderbolts. He's gonna star in Avengers Doomsday, which comes out next year.
Yeah, they're probably gonna need him. Man, I'm just wondering if there was any hint of who's the villain from Marvel, from the X-Men? Shit, I forgot his name. But he likes making clones.
Well, Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, I thought he had something to do with Bob.
Right.
So I was like, oh shit, because how Bob was talking about a doctor.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe there's a hint of Mr. Sinister popping in as well.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see. I wonder who played Mr. Sinister in live action.
Yeah, true. David, the guy that was it David Harbour, the guy that plays as Alexei?
Yeah.
Because I reckon I think it's Stranger Things was probably his best performance.
Right. Is he good in
that? I think after that, because you see him popping up everywhere now. But he's so fucking funny in this movie. I reckon I find him real funny. So funny. What is he trying to be? Russian.
Even Florence Pugh, like she's unrecognizable. Hey.
Yeah.
I can't. It's her hairstyles. She got different hairstyles in other movies she plays in, but yeah, you can't recognize her as her other characters in other movies, eh? And plus she puts on that Soviet accent, the Russian accent, which is pretty cool. So her performance is really good, eh?
Especially when I saw her in when I saw her in Black Widow. I think she was better in there than she was in here, because man, she was on. She took that show. She took it from the main actress, I reckon, because everyone was just talking about her performance.
Yeah. So some of these scenes, how'd you feel about the final scene?
What the after credit scenes or the ending to the story scene?
How they defeated the Void, because they got their ass kicked, man. They got their ass kicked physically. So, how are they gonna kill this guy? You can't. Hey, they tried and they got wasted.
Yeah, so, man, that guy was like a Avengers threat, hardcore. He was like Thanos times 20.
So they had to outsmart him in a way. So I was trying to figure that out. Like when I saw them getting their ass kicked, I was thinking, man, how are they gonna kill this guy? How are they gonna defeat this dude? They're gonna have to outsmart him somehow. And I was thinking, how are they gonna do that? How do you outsmart someone like that? Because when he came out and then he was dressed in this Sentry suit. If you look at the comics, he's the same. But it just looks corny, yeah. Until he started kicking some ass, and then
he looked like Homelander. He kind of reminded me of Homelander. And I was getting this like, fuck, is this guy gonna go nuts and just blow everybody up? I was like, fuck.
You know what I had in mind? Because I saw on the trailer, when he turns those people into shadows. It comes on the trailer. I thought he could do that right then, right there, with his power right then, but he doesn't. We don't know until later on that he has to turn into the Void to do all that. But as Sentry, when he was kicking ass, all he has to do is do that shadow thing, and these guys are dead, right? He doesn't do that. He doesn't even kill them, because that scene when he throws Alexei through the window and out and pulls them back.
Yeah,
that told me he doesn't want to kill them.
Yeah,
because he's still mates with them, eh? Yeah,
he just wants to he doesn't want to harm, he doesn't want to end their lives.
And it's funny because it's cool because in the beginning when we first met Bob, he connects with Yelena because she helps him, right? She's the one that tells him, "Oh, what about me?" When we try to find our way out of the cave. He goes, well, "What do I do?" And she goes, "Stand behind me. Just keep behind me, right? For support." Like, she's helping him, right? He's feeling like protected, right? She's gonna protect me. So automatically they've had this bond. They've had that bond when they started talking to each other, right?
Yeah.
Right? They started talking to each other. US Agent was a dick to him, so he doesn't care for US Agent. But with Yelena, like, the bond was there from the start, eh?
Yeah.
Like she felt sorry for him. She tried to help him. She tried to figure out. She didn't want to force the issue of who the fuck are you? How'd you get in here? Who are you? Like what U.S. agent was doing. She took a different approach. She said she was doing those calm down ones and talk. Let's get to know each other first. Talk. And then when they were trying to break out, that's when she said, "Just stay behind me. I'll protect you." Right.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So you would know later on that when he does become Sentry, would he actually hurt Yelena, right? So that part when he's fighting them, he's actually doing self-defense there.
Yeah. Is
and he does
his
explain to Valentina that he doesn't want to kill them because they didn't do anything to me.
Yeah, she was really pushing, like, no, you have to do what I tell you to do. Like, she was really pushing him. Like, bro, what the hell?
Yeah. So when the secretary girl, Valentina's assistant, presses that button on the device that they think would kill them, would kill Sentry, it doesn't. Just makes him into the void. That was the part. That was the time when I thought, okay, so I think he's gonna do these mind things, and then Alexei having that relationship with him already. Alexei will try to talk him out of it somehow, and that was my. This is how they defeat him. I think there's gonna be. Yelena has to do something to remind him that remember we had this bond. You know, all through the movie we were friends. Like you can trust me.
I kind of saw that coming too as well. When I saw him, when I saw her befriending him, I was like, oh, okay, there has to be a connection with that somewhere.
Yeah, and that's why I say that's why the writing is good because everything connects.
Yeah,
I love it how when you watch a movie, nothing is random. Everything means something, right? So the dialogue between Bob and Yelena in the beginning in that bunker, their relationship begins in that bunker. It's gonna relate to the end when she's the one that actually stops them from beating up the void because they know they have to approach it a different way, right?
Yeah.
And you can say it's corny that they all hugged him at the end and pulled him off.
Man, I was quite I was quite shocked when the rest of the guys came through the void, to come and help Elena, the Guardian, the Red Guardian, the rest of them. I was like, oh shit, that's cool. I didn't expect them to jump through with her. I was I thought she was gonna, like come out and be the one that saved the day. It took all of them to come and help, being the thing, spread your pain kind of deal. The more the more friends you have, the more support you got. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, that was the main takeaway for how to defeat depression, how to defeat trauma.
Yeah.
If the void embodied all of that stuff, anxiety, trauma, depression, then how you beat it is you have to come together with a group of friends or your community or your family.
That's what I was asking. That's what I was asking my because I didn't watch the movie alone. I watched it with Joe. I was like, what was the message in this movie, Joe? And he was like, I got it. Okay, yeah.
So see, that's a good message.
Yeah. Now you kind of made me rethink my my thing for Thunderbolts. Now I think I've gone back to 2.5.
But that's what I mean. I understood what this movie was about, and I appreciated the structure of it. I appreciated that there's nothing random about it. This was a cool, fun adventure movie with a strong message behind it, right? And because I didn't get depressed or anything like that, like I don't know, I don't really have any trauma or anything, so I don't really understand. I don't really understand depression. I'm one of those guys that I won't say anything bad about depression because I know people go through it, but I never go through it myself. I think on that aspect of this is the reasons why I don't. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I get it. It's out there in the world, and I get they've got something to say about it, and I get it's good for the kids that watch this, in case they have a little bit of trauma in their past and they don't know how to deal with it. They can watch a movie like Thunderbolts, superheroes, and get delivered that message too, which I think is a good thing, which is a cool thing. But it brings me to what I was talking about before when I was comparing the Suicide Squad with the Thunderbolts. And there's that scene when the Void is doing his thing. There's a Void, no, the Void that collapses the crane, eh? Or the Void puts those pilots in darkness and the a helicopter crashes on the crane and the crane comes down, creates all those ruins, and what the Thunderbolts do when you see them saving all the people underneath in New York.
Yeah.
They're being heroic, right?
Yeah.
And you don't. I don't think I saw the Suicide Squad do that. So that's just an extra added thing to their characters that they protect us. And Valentina uses that to advantage when they show up in the press conference thing. She's got no choice but to say, "Oh, here's my new Avengers" to cover up what she's really doing, right?
Yeah.
And
she kind of covered herself up really good.
She covered herself, but at the same time, it's a game of chess, right? Yelena whispers in her ear, "Where we own you now." Because if because if you don't do what we say now, we're gonna tell you you'll eat.
I don't.
So
I don't know how long these new Avengers are gonna last, but with her with Valentine as their leader or whatever, bro, you need to jump on the fence with Sam.
I went to watch it with the kids, and there was parts in the beginning where I was getting political because Bucky was running for senator, and his mate, or the other senator, the black guy, who's on the wire, his bunk on the wire, like he's trying to impeach Valentina. But all that politics stuff, having those champagne parties and the Washington and all that, I was just thinking about the kids next to me. I was thinking, I wonder if they're bored of all this stuff. Like, too much talking there. Where's the action?
It's kind of funny too, because on New Day, I think Sam's having a conversation with the president, with the Harrison Ford's character, and the Bucky, Sebastian's Bucky comes in the scene and has a chit chat with Sam before he heads out to the court case with Valentine. So that it's part of kind of the same. So he just left Sam, and then they found out about Harrison Ford's character turning red because he was apparently poisoned by I forgot the name of the guy with the big brain. He keeps on coming after the Hulk.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, what's his name? It's not Brainiac because that's from DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. One of the Incredible Hulk's main villains was poisoning Harrison Ford's character, and that's how Harrison Ford became the bloody Red Hulk.
Is it the leader? Or no?
Nah, he's the guy that does all the if I remember from the comic book right, he did side experiments with the Hulk's DNA, making other kind of wannabe Hulks. So the Harrison Ford character is probably one of his first ones. And man, he's a pretty decent Hulk, bro. That guy is freaking wow. He's up there, but nowhere near to Hulk's level, though.
I think that villain's name is the leader, the guy with the big head, because he's got a big brain.
Yeah, it was affected by Hulk's blood from the old Hulk movie.
Mm.
Is it the it's not the Eric Banner one. It's the one after that.
Oh, the one of Edward Norton.
Yeah. It was his storyline where I think Bruce's blood drips onto his brain, and then it kind of mutates his brain. So now when you see the character, now he looks pretty mean though. He's really scary looking. Like he's got this big head. I thought it would be funny, but also he has these fucked up eyes. So it makes him kind of look really sinister like, and he's really highly intelligent. Like the guy can think in like the third or the fourth dimension kind of shit. Like damn. Anyway, way off the story.
So it looks like Bob is now part of the new Avengers. He's got no powers, or his powers are gone.
No. I think because I think it's the U.S. agent. There's a scene where he's sitting down. I mean, the guy discussing, and the U.S. agent goes to him like, "Oh, he can come and help us," and he's like, "Oh no, I can't." Then the other guy might come out. So it looks like the more times he uses his powers, the void starts popping. Or I don't know, inclines pops out. I'm not too sure. But there was what was I was going to say something before here. Oh shit, I forgot now.
No, he was saying like at the end of the credits scene, he was like going, "Oh no, I can wash the dishes."
Yeah, that's right. When they celebrate the new Avengers and he's sitting there clapping, and Valentine turns around and looks at him going like, "What the fuck?" Like Bob was clapping, like he didn't know he was part of the Avengers as well.
Oh yeah.
And I was laughing at that. I was like, "Shit, this guy's funny." He's like clapping for Elena and them. He's like, yeah, the new Avengers. He's like, Sully, you're the part of the new Avengers too.
But that's the thing with this Thunderbolts movie. I can jam with these characters. I can jam with the story. Like if there was another movie with these characters in, and they go on a mission, I reckon it'd be cool, man. It'll be good. Yeah, and if whatever approach they do it, obviously we want to see them again when Avengers Doomsday comes across, and when Avengers Secret Wars. So that's gonna be a big one. That's gonna involve every single character in Marvel. So
even the X-Men as well, eh?
One of X-Men's gonna come into that.
Yeah, well, they got the old X-Men coming back. I don't know if the guys from the Future Past one is coming either. Looks like everyone from each kind of universe is popping in too.
Really? Different universes? Because I think multiverse.
Yeah,
because I think it's part of the multiverse too, eh? Because there's two Secret War stories. Yeah. There's an old school Secret War story where the Beyonder takes every single superhero from Earth and puts them on his planet, and he splits them in two, and they have to fight each other.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's when Spider-Man finds that a symbol, and their planet brings it back.
Oh, okay.
Brings it back, and then that's when you get the Black Spider-Man until his suit has a mind of its own, and it doesn't want to leave Peter Parker. So Peter Parker in the black suit, he goes on the big a bell, because you know how the symbiote doesn't like
waves,
sonic sound in that. So that's how he gets rid of the suit. He goes under the bell, and the bell just rings, and the suit. He thinks the suit is dead, but then the suit managed to go into Eddie Brock and creates Venom.
Yeah, did you remember the I think it was the last Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, the third Spider-Man movie, where they did that scene with him and with the bell? I thought that was pretty cool, but I didn't like it how Eddie Brock was a journalist as well. Because if I remember correctly from the comic book, he was like a Russian-looking construction worker that was a bit loose in the head.
No, he was a photographer.
Oh, was he?
He was Peter Parker's rival.
Oh shit!
He didn't like Peter Parker because he was doing this. He was trying to. They were competing.
Oh, so the big buff character in the comic book was a journalist as well.
Yeah, a photographer.
Oh,
but shit. I thought they miscast. They put that guy off that 70s show.
Yeah,
so
he was fucking weird as Venom.
He was the wrong choice for Venom. Wow.
We'll talk about that in some other podcast. Hey, speaking of Spider-Man, I was surprised that he didn't show up in New York City. Being like in Jersey, him, Matt, Miss Marvel, they all live in the same kind of place. Maybe they didn't have enough much money to pop them in.
Yeah. Well, I wish they threw in if they're going to kill a character like Taskmaster, at least throw another different costume character in there. Eh?
Yeah.
A redundant one, like expendable one.
Man, she had like there was. Her and Elena, they're pretty much almost like cousins. And it was just funny, how she got shot. And Elena was just like, oh, that's part of the job. She kind of gets it, but they're pretty close. So like, oh, just like that.
Yeah, man. So we'll just wrap up. But some last words, man. Got any last words?
The end scene?
End scene?
After the credits.
Yeah. So we see the Fantastic Four ship. So I reckon did they go in the time machine or something? Did they go?
Yeah, I think Richard figures out that there is a multiverse. Yeah, because when you look at their timeline, it's like
just in the 60s.
Yeah, it's like a futuristic 1960s, but it's not our 1960s.
Oh right.
So it's definitely a different alternate universe. So they've come because even when the computer thing for them tells them that there's an anomaly in their atmosphere, in their solar space, it talks about a multi-dimension portal. So it looks like Richard figured out that there's a multiverse. He'll be clever enough to figure it out if he's anything like Stark. Stark figured out the bloody time thing by fucking. You know that shit that he comes up with in the in-game. It's actual. It's an actual theory.
Oh,
I saw the thing of it. They're talking about it, but it's not. It's not practical because you can't travel back into time. You only can go forward. But yeah, they were saying that it's an actual theory that if you do this particular wormhole thing, you could actually go back into time. Like, what? Yes. But yeah,
I'm excited for Fantastic Four. It comes out in July, a week after Superman comes out. So we'll see a battle between Marvel and DC and come July.
So that means Galactus might have taken, probably fucked up their world. Because we know Galactus is in the movie.
What happened to Silver Surfer, man? They made Silver Surfer his girlfriend.
Yeah, but it's in their universe. It's not in the main universe. So maybe in the main universe, the Silver Surfer is the original one, but in the alternate universe, it could
Norrin
be
Red.
Norrin Red's Ingy.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Shucks. That's the thing with the multiverse. Hey, they can just do all these side. So like even the other Fantastic Four that was in Doctor Strange, the Richards in that one, the different actor there, and they try to take on the Scarlet Witch, and he got stretched out into spaghetti. Fuck, that was fucking out of it. She fucking peeled them back. Yeah. They couldn't even stand up to her.
Yeah, man. So time to wrap up, bro. So yeah, that was Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
You know what? It's good. It's a good film. It's not my cup of tea, but it's a good film. Everything is well written. As well. The scenes are good. The characters are good. The acting's great. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah, it's a quality film. I'm
actually quite surprised that we had a lot to talk about Thunderbolts.
Yeah, well,
so, yes. Maybe it's better than a 2.5.
All right, man. Time to go, man. Yep. So yeah, we're gonna do Last of Us episode 4 dropped on Monday. We're gonna do that next. We're gonna have Stace from the Counter Rock jump in and talk Last of Us with us.
Yeah, I like that. I like that episode. I don't know why, but I liked it.
Yep. I like that too. I have still some concerns, but and then we're gonna do Endor episodes 7, 8, and 9 drop tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll be watching that. We'll jam that on Thursday. We'll try to record that on Thursday. We'll try to record both Last of Us and Endor on Thursday.
Bro, I reckon that's gonna turn ugly too, eh?
The what?
Endor. Like I think it's heading to this massacre styles.
We'll see. Okay, bro. Good to have you on again. It's good to talk movies and TV with you, man. Every week. Enjoy doing it. Thanks for jumping on.
Me too.
All right. Have a good night. Bye.